Yo, JD here, Tyrolinus, and as you can see on F1 2017, we're doing the daily event, or not the daily, the weekly event that is happening online on the game at the moment, and we're at Circuit of the Americas, and we're in the Force India, which the event is based on. And for this scenario, you've got to do the last 10 laps with a really worn out gearbox, and there's actually rain at the end of the race as well with a virtual safety car. So this is a world record, the fastest of all consoles from what I believe, or all platforms I believe I've seen so far. So I just thought it was just be kind of just an entertaining video for you guys to really just watch, and hopefully you enjoy it and you can take something from it as well. I won't talk for the whole video, but just talk for the first few laps, so just basically what my strategy was and just basic lines and everything as well. So drove on a wheel around here yesterday, which is in my other video, the first challenge I did, and believe me, it's it's such a different sensation driving on a wheel compared to the pad. On the pad, I feel this is actually the hardest track I think I've done so far on the controller. I think these corners, the first sector, the last sector, it is really challenging on a controller for dynamics, what you have to do. But like this corner, for example, on the wheel yesterday, I was so confident through there, but in this, it took me so many times, or just took me a lot of attempts after the first lap to really just feel like I just start to nail it. And on this, the rain comes on lap 50, and this is an opportunity to do a fast lap now, but the virtual safety car comes out at the end of this. But the setup I'm using here today is the one I used in Bahrain. I think my rear wings, or I think the front wings, gone up from 2 to 3, and it gives you a bit of understeer, but I'm using 7 bars around here, and I felt using any more than that would really make the car step out. So straight line speed is pretty important around here, but it still delivers quite good corner grip as well as really good traction. So that's the reason why I like using a lower front wing than the rear wing on most circuits. I wouldn't say all circuits this is the best thing to use, but I reckon around here it would work pretty well. So you can see really good traction, and now we've got a really long straight, one of the longest length one, so we're definitely going to benefit down here. And this attempt, I felt I drove a couple of my laps were not perfect, but I'd say 90% of it, I would say it was really good, like on the limit. Near the max I could potentially do. So you can see now we've got the virtual safety car coming out, and a little tip with the virtual safety car, when you go into the red, so now it does the countdown, if you just go out of the delta, if you go green in a delta again, that will stop, and it gives you another 14 seconds. So as you can see, coming down now, almost hitting green, so it hits green about now, and now if you just go flat out, you've got 14 seconds again, or 15 seconds in fact, to actually before that counts down. And in this scenario, it always goes down at the start, finish, 9, so you know how much time exactly you've got. So you can see within a second there's 7 attempts to spare, and we don't get a penalty. So that's just a little tip. Obviously in a race situation, racing online, you don't know when it's going to end, but for scenarios like this or future scenarios, that's just a little tip here. But this lap was meant to be my fastest lap of the race, but I actually got a really bad last sector and stuff. So you can see going through these corners, this is where I feel it's very difficult on the controller, very hard to be super precise. But we're doing quite a good lap so far, but I think the lap after this will be my fastest lap of the race. And the wet weather driving, I felt the wet is something I really do love on the previous, or pretty much all the games, but definitely this game and the last game, something I've really enjoyed, and hopefully you can take away something from that before, and just the way I trail brake and just use lean mix and everything. So hopefully that does give you a few little tips as well, but also just to really just enjoy the video. So I'm probably going to stop talking now. I'm going to let you watch the rest of this rather than me just rambling on. Obviously this is not a live com because I was concentrating a fair amount at the time, but for future events, if they do esports in the future, I'd prefer it without the AI involved, because the AI sometimes on that lap 1, the turn 1 at the very start of this, sometimes they crashed into each other and sometimes they didn't, so it's really quite random, to be honest. As you can see, that's the mistake I made. I went out way too wide. I find that very difficult going through there, but yeah, I just find the AI just sometimes gets in the way, sometimes doesn't. So it's kind of a lottery. Quite a lot of luck involved in this, really. But on this occasion, on this run, managed to have really, really good fortune in this. So I'll leave you with this video now. Thank you so much for supporting my channel as always. It's been immense. And next video probably be a SERP video or maybe AOR, which returns this weekend again. So thank you so much and see you there.
Well, this is it. This is where they all want to be. Here come the top three then, out onto the podium after a fascinating Grand Prix.